So guys, following on from the last video about the exotic assault rifles, I'm going to do the exotic holsters, as that's the most of any gear piece. There's three of them. You've got the Dodge City Gunslingers holster, the Imperial Dynasty and the Waveform. So the Dodge City Gunslingers holster, the quote is "fast is fine but accuracy is everything. In a gunfight you need to take your time and hurry." That's credited to Wyatt Earp. The attributes: weapon damage, weapon handling and headshot damage. And the talent: quick draw. While your pistol is holstered, gain a stacking buff every 0.3 seconds up to 100. When you swap to it, your first shot consumes the buff and deals a 10% damage per stack. This deals headshot damage to anywhere you hit. So if you're using a tank build and you've got your pistol holstered and you get this buff, and then you using a gun like the Regulus, which deals really good headshot damage on its own talent, then you can pretty much take an elite enemy NPC out with one shot. It's a really good talent. I don't use the holster very often, but it is definitely one for a tank build or a pistol build, as you can see. You get this from completing a project that you get from Anaya at the craft bench, and then you have to get exotic components. One that you get from the Riverside Cafe control point. You get that from the loot box that you can get from clearing the control point. You don't have to do it on any specific difficulties, you can do it on normal. And then you have to get 3 components from named bosses from the factions. I don't know if it's any one from each faction, but you have to do level 4 control points, so heroic difficulty. They all drop the components, you take them back, and then you go to you donate them, and then you go to a bar near the White House, which you find a Black Tusk boss, and he will drop another exotic component. You take that back and then you can craft the holster. You also need, I believe, a Petrov and a Providence holsters to donate as well, but it's worth going for. Once you've done this project, it will drop from the general loot pool, so just look for the holster on the targeted loot and you got a chance getting it. Next one is the Imperial Dynasty. This can drop from either Javier Kajelka or Vivian Conley from the Pathway Park or Stranded Tanker missions. Once it's dropped from them, it's in the general loot pool, and again just look for the holster. The inscription or transcription or quote is Fei Lao, and symbols are important. Look at the phoenix you wear on your sleeve. The dragon bears a similar significance to me. It comes with skill tier, status effects and has a protection, and the talent Dragon's Glare. Whilst in combat, applies burn to the enemy closest to you within 20 meters, and that happens every 35 seconds. So the first enemy you'll come across will burst into fire. It's pretty good if you're using a backpack that's creeping death on it, because all the other enemies that are in close proximity to the first one catch fire as well, and it buys you a little bit more time to either get into cover or to kill them. It's something I've used in the past. I've not used it for a while, but it is a pretty good holster, especially for a status effects build. So as I said, one of them catches on fire, you put a creeping death backpack on, and the rest of them will catch as well. And then finally the Waveform. So it's not a quote, but it says graphite layers are suffused throughout the holster Kevlar weave, that when the wearer moves creates an inductive oscillating electromagnetic field. This field allows for remote charging of electrical devices. It comes with a skill tier, skill damage and skill haste. And the talent, alternating current, generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. After 10 seconds at the cap, the stacks transfer to your other skill. The processing repeats ad infinitum. So if you're using turret and drone on a 6-tier skill build, so for the maximum skill damage and skill tiers, so you bump in the damage, it will swap between the two of them, and it will increase the damage that each of them does. You can note, if you have the rolling numbers on your screen activated, you can see the difference, because it will show you what damage the turret's doing, what damage the drone's doing, and you can see the numbers going up and down. It is a really good holster. It's one of the best gear pieces in the game. If you haven't got it, there's no specific project or quest or anything mission to do. It's literally just from the loot pool. So look for the holster on the targeted loot, and happy hunting. So that's all 3 items explained. If you'd like to know further details, if something hasn't answered your questions, or you have questions which aren't answered, I should say, please drop a comment and I will look into it and I will get back to you. I hope you like the video, and I will catch you in the next one.